So basically, I committed to myself that I was going to make a book video every month this year. Two of my main goals for 2022 were to read and also to post more on social media and on YouTube. And so I thought this would be a really great way to bring those two things together. My only issue now is that I honestly spent a lot of time reading one series, and that series is Harry Potter. Now, you might see my dilemma because I read literally one book outside of this series this month, and now I don't really have much to talk about. I mean, I could talk about Harry Potter forever. Before I get into any of these books, I do want to say that I might accidentally give you like little spoilers. I'm not going to try to get into any of the details, but before I get into my new Harry Potter obsession, I am going to talk about another series that I read called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So if you don't know what the series is about, it's basically about this girl who decides that she is going to solve a murder that happened in her town, I think like 5 years before, and basically goes on this whole adventure under the guise of it being a high school project. So the second book in this series is kind of similar to the first one. There's another mystery that she has to solve. She's reluctant at first to do it because of everything that happened the first time. Obviously, since it's a whole book, she's gonna do it. I don't think that's a spoiler, but I love this book probably about as much as I love the first one. Both of them are page turners, like for real. They both have like tons of twists and turns, and you never know what's going to happen. The one thing about this book that really got me, and I'm going to try to say this in a way that doesn't give anything away, but it made you feel so sad for someone who you might not want to feel sad for. I was literally crying over someone who is like not the good guy, so I feel like that was like really well done. But anyways, this whole series so far has been 5 stars for me, and I haven't read the third one yet. It is on my to be read list. Alright, now that we're done with that, we're going to talk about Harry Potter. Okay, listen, my boyfriend told me I should read this series because obviously it's amazing, everybody's read it, and I was like, I don't know, they're kid books, right? Like, I'm too old to read Harry Potter for the first time. So in January, I read the first 5 Harry Potter books. The first 3 are so short, so I like flew through those. The 4th one took a little bit longer, but was also really good. And the 5th one took a long time because it's so long, first of all. And then it is also slower than the rest of them. But I will give you my general thoughts on the series. First of all, any conception that Harry Potter is simply a kid's book is just silly, and I am adding myself, honestly. Like, I was thinking like, this is a kid's book, I'm not gonna want to read all of these books, but I've also heard from a lot of people that the 5th book was their favorite book. The 5th one to me was just like kind of slow, and obviously sad things happen in it. Obviously, if I was going to rate the whole series, I would rate it 5 stars. If I was going to rate each book, 5th book maybe gets like 4 stars instead of 5. And the first 2 are just like really good at building the world and just like giving you that wholesome, like fun experience. Anyways, since this book video is probably going to be pretty short because I didn't have a lot of diversity in the books that I read this month, I am going to take you guys through my TBR list, at least for February. I'm going to talk about all the books that I want to read. I don't know if I'm gonna get through them all in February, probably not, because I can feel this is pretty long. So obviously the next book I'm going to be reading is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This is the 6th book in the series. There's one more. It is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and then I will be done with Harry Potter. But these books are thick with like 4 C's. I also want to read Malibu Rising. This book is a literary fiction book. It is by the same author who wrote Daisy Jones and the Six, and she also wrote The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Those are 2 books that I've heard amazing things about and that I really want to read. I don't know much about this because I didn't research it myself, but the basic like tagline is that 4 famous siblings throw an epic party to celebrate the end of summer, but over the course of 24 hours, their lives will change forever. The next book on my list is 4,000 Weeks. It is a like self-development nonfiction book. It's basically about time management, how to spend your time on the right things, and how to decide what those things should be. Another book that I started this month but haven't finished is Atomic Habits. This book is the one that everyone and their mom has read, but I haven't read it yet. Another book that I'm reading that is kind of like out of left field for me is called Kicks The Great American Story of Sneakers. Something that I also have been wanting to do this year is just learn more about like anything and everything. And something that's been coming up a lot for me, especially on like social media and like seeing like YouTubers and TikTokers talk about it, is sneakers and like sneaker culture. And I really don't understand it. So I decided that I would read a book about it and learn more. Another book that I have here, I really don't know if I'm going to like it, but I've seen it recommended by like so many YouTubers and like book channels and things. It's Ugly Love. Everyone is obsessed with Ugly Love and like Colleen Hoover. I'm not a huge romance reader. I don't know, I just find them to be fun but predictable, sometimes a little too like spicy in the like content for me. And here's the thing, this book, based on the description, is very spicy, and I don't know if I'm gonna like that. Alright, so honestly, these ones are probably gonna be the next ones for me once I finish Harry Potter. One of them is The Atlas Six, which is also a book that has been recommended so much on like Book Talk. It is a like fantasy book. This one recommended a million times as well. This is basically another fantasy series that creates like a magical universe. Similar vibes to Harry Potter from what I've heard. But yeah, so that is basically my to be read list. It's so tall now. My goal is to read a lot more this month. This month I read 6 books. I want to read maybe 100 books this year. So let's say 8 or 9 books a month. I will definitely see you in a month when I finished all of these books, but hopefully I'll see you sooner. I want to post more on here. In the meantime, look forward to my next book video.